All right, let's talk about something that's been quietly picking your pocket, maybe without you even noticing. It's called inflation. So what is this silent thief? How does it actually work? And more importantly, what can you do to stop it? Let's dive in.
Have you ever felt this? You're doing everything you're supposed to. You got that raise you worked so hard for, but at the end of the month, it just feels like you're not getting ahead. It's a super frustrating feeling, right?
Well, that feeling, that running in place, not getting ahead feeling, that's not just in your head. It has a name, inflation, and it is a very real, invisible force that is eating away at your money. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this thing really works.
Okay, so to figure out how to protect our money, we first have to understand the machine itself. What is actually going on behind the scenes that causes inflation?
Now, the textbook definition is pretty simple. Inflation happens when there's way more money floating around than there are actual things to buy. But that's a little dry. So let's tell a quick story to make this crystal clear.
I want you to picture this little village, right? Life is pretty normal. Then, one day, a helicopter flies over and just starts dropping piles of cash on everyone. The government decided to give everybody a huge injection of money to get the economy going.
And just like that, everyone feels rich. They've got money to burn, they're not just buying their normal groceries, they are splurging. And pretty much everyone has their eye on that slick, new electric bike in the local shop window.
The shop owner, of course, is totally swamped. He's selling bikes like crazy until he runs out. He's got way too many customers and not enough bikes. So what does he do? It's simple. Supply and demand. He jacks up the price. And boom, right there, the value of everyone's new money just started to shrink. Now here's the wild part. That little story about the village, that's not just a story. It's almost exactly what happened across the entire globe recently. Governments pumped trillions of dollars into the economy with stimulus checks. People were stuck at home, spending that money on everything from Pelotons to cars to boats, all while the global supply chains were completely gummed up. And what was the result? The exact same thing as our village, a ton more money chasing way fewer goods.
So that's the big picture view of how this whole thing gets started. But what does it actually mean for your bank account? How does this giant economic force translate into you feeling that financial squeeze?
This right here, I call this the silent salary trap. You get that awesome 6% raise at work, you feel like you're finally making progress, but, and this is a huge but, if inflation is running at 7%, you're actually falling behind. You're running faster on a financial treadmill that's also speeding up.
And here's the painful math. In that scenario, your real purchasing power, your actual ability to buy stuff, has gone down by 1%. Think about that. You're working just as hard, your paycheck is bigger, but your money is quietly worth less.
A really good way to picture this is with your savings. Imagine all your savings are just a bucket full of water. Well, inflation is like a small, silent leak at the very bottom. Day to day, you probably won't even notice it. But over time, that leak is slowly but surely draining your bucket.
Let's look at the cold, hard numbers. Say your savings account is getting you a measly 3% in interest. You might think, hey, at least it's something. But if inflation is roaring along at 7%, you're not earning money. You are losing 4% of your purchasing power every single year. That safe savings account, it's actually a guaranteed loss. Your money is just leaking away.
Okay, and this is where it gets really, really interesting. Because while inflation is absolutely crushing for some people, it actually helps others. It all comes down to two totally different ways of thinking about money. Let's call it the tale of the saver versus the investor.
Because here's the secret. This is the thing most people don't realize. Inflation isn't just some random thing that happens. It's actually a system. It's a mechanism that quietly and very systematically moves wealth from one group of people to another. You see, you've got two different playbooks. On one side, you've got the saver. The saver plays defense. They hold on to cash because it feels safe, they're scared of debt, and they rely on a fixed income that just gets chewed up by inflation. But on the other side, you've got the investor. The investor plays offense. They don't just hold money, they buy assets, things like real estate, businesses, stocks, that actually grow in value. So how is it that investors seem to win this game? Well, it's pretty simple. Their assets, their houses, their stocks, they act like a shield. Their value tends to go up right along with inflation. Cash, on the other hand, is like an ice cube on a hot day. It just melts away. And here's the real kicker. Investors use debt like a weapon. They borrow money today and pay it back years from now with money that's worth less. It's like a financial cheat code.
All right, so you get the problem. You've seen the playbook that the winners are using. Now for the most important part. How can you stop playing defense and start playing financial offense to protect your own money?
Here's a simple 3-step plan. First, build your fortress. That's your emergency fund. It's your non-negotiable safety net for 3 to 6 months of expenses. Step 2, go on offense. You've got to start investing in assets that can grow faster than inflation. Things like diversified mutual funds. This is how your money stops being a melting ice cube. And step 3, sharpen your sword. Your ability to earn an income is your single greatest asset. So invest in yourself, learn new skills, and increase what you can earn.
Look, the bottom line is this. In an economy with inflation, stagnant money is losing money. You just can't afford to let your cash sit there and do nothing. You have to make it move. You have to put it to work for you.
So, let's end with this one big idea. Inflation isn't just rising prices at the grocery store. It's a system that quietly transfers wealth from the savers to the investors. So the question you really have to ask yourself is, are you going to be the one who lets their wealth get transferred away? Or are you going to be the one who understands the game and plays to win?